Lee Jones here from Hotspawn, and I'm joined by Vitality's head coach Pal after a perfect start, really, to Masters London. Obviously, 2-0 win, pretty clean win as well, both maps. Basic question first of all, just what are your thoughts off of the win? How are you feeling with the opening day?
Yeah, look, it's you're always a little bit concerned about what it's like going into this event. This is still our first split together as a team, so we don't know how everyone's going to react all of the time. Even the more experienced boys that have done this, this is Cron's 10th international event. It's a new environment when you're coming with new systems, new coaches, new players, etc., etc. So it's nice just to get that first one under the belt and for it to go so smoothly as well. Definitely a few details to talk about in debrief today and tidy up in practice tomorrow, but yeah, obviously very happy with it.
How do you approach like an opening match in a tournament like this, especially where like everyone's kind of expecting that the meta is going to shift quite heavily? So I imagine it might be difficult to prep for opponents specifically. So how do you kind of weigh that up? Do you just sort of focus on what you think is best for you guys, or yeah, how did you approach that today?
Yeah, you do exactly that. Like the priority always has to be, and that's what we spent the good chunk of sort of 2 weeks since the playoffs doing, yourselves. What puts you, and in particular the boys, in the most confident positions to do things that they think is going to work, that they believe in, and that they want to turn up to this event and show off. And then, right, last couple of days, last 48 hours, etc., is when we've been starting to introduce those little drops of what we think they're going to do. If they don't do it, right, okay, they changed, they started throwing some of the chamber in there instead of the neon, changing up their style a little bit. Okay, then you just rely on your skills that you build up through the year of analyzing stuff, coming up with new plans, and going from there.
Sure. How are you expecting the meta to shift? Because yeah, like the neon's the obvious thing, and we've not seen a single map of it today. But I've seen other people like I think it's on Spike Talk, like Frost and Baby Bay, both sort of agreeing that their respective teams don't see that it's going to totally disappear. So that was kind of like a question mark coming into today, I think. But yeah, how do you think that's maybe going to go? And do you think it benefits you guys specifically if it doesn't really come back? Because obviously, like we spoke to Derke a few weeks ago, and he was very pleased to potentially be off it.
Of
And
course
if
he
like
was.
the Jett and Raze are coming in, that's ideal for him, right? So yeah, what's your kind of take on the whole thing?
No, I agree with the Spike Talk guys. Like it's not that massive of a change. The teams that are good with the neon should still be running it. We still expect to play into it. We expected to play into it again today. I'm surprised that we've seen four maps today with no one running it at all. That's probably just down to the team specifically rather than anything else, I think. So yeah, still a pretty decent agent. If you run it well, if you do the things that you should do, set her up properly, then absolutely going to be a powerful agent. Suits us to have Derke on Jett and Raze a little bit more. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be on every single map by any means. Derke's Neon was also looking really, really good in a lot of places. But yeah, it's nice just to give Derke his first run out on the stage today. One Jett, one Raze, get him back on a LAN event and let him farm from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, Obviously on this sort of level, especially it was a debut for Sayonara, and I know I asked you about him a few weeks ago as well. Um, but just how has it been like prepping him for this sort of step up? Because I know he was kind of overshadowed a bit by Yampi's ace, but his 4K was pretty good for a
Yeah, it's
yeah,
pretty
you know, in
clean.
your in
Yeah.
your first few rounds on a global event. So yeah, how's it been like getting him ready with the nerves and everything like that that could come into it?
I think he learned a lot from the grand final. Like he had a couple of like just physical health issues on the grand final day and was overthinking them a lot. And he really reflected on that massively. He worked with performance coach. We had a lot of discussions about it as a group, not just for him, but also everybody. He's really, really good at learning from his experiences. So he came in today, actually, right, quiet, calm, relaxed. And then as soon as we got in that server today, he knew what he does best and he absolutely went for it. So I think if anything, it's about dialing it down now. Now he knows that he can do it. He's proven it to himself. There's no need for the nerves, no need for the overcompensation. He preps himself a lot most of the time. And it's just about making sure that for us, we're removing any barriers or potentially obstacles that are going to put him off his game, and just checking in with him when we think we might need to. That's all.
Yeah. I wanted to ask about the like sort of about the opponent specifically today, but more maybe like China as a whole as well. So obviously we've had XLG and DRG both on stage today. I'm not sure if you would have caught much of the first series. For yourselves, it looked pretty comfortable. XLG probably should have taken a map off NRG, but Kiko just went mad and stopped that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it seems to be the sort of running thing for China for a few events that their teams don't really show up too much at these global events. What were you kind of expecting from their teams here in London?
I think they bring a uniqueness that is often like, especially compositionally. You look at XLG running that Lotus that should have won them that map. Realistically, as you said, Kiko was absolutely farming them back on home turf. But they bring a uniqueness. They bring things that are a little bit different, that maybe everybody else in the rest of the world aren't quite used to. So I'd be hoping to see a little bit more out of that out of China, them trying to catch people off guard a bit more, because I think that's where their main strengths lie.
Yeah. Just kind of going off the Kiko point as well, because he popped off today, and I saw he'd posted that he had a fry up this morning.
Yeah.
And I wondered what, going back to the UK, what was it you were looking forward to most, and is there anything you've introduced the boys to, a bit fry up, a Nando's, anything like that?
Yeah, we did Nando's first night we were here. I think that's a good one. That's an easy one
What's
for
your go-to?
the boys and their diets. Oh, it's going to be a double chicken wrap. Throw some halloumi in. Go for a medium or a hot. Bit of whatever else you can get in. But yeah, definitely more a wrap guy. Get the mac and cheese as well. Some peri salted chips when I'm feeling like treating myself. But no, I think we need to find a good place for a full breakfast.
Yeah.
And actually have them try it properly. We did do a little stop off at a Greg's on a little speed tour of the city that I did with him the other day. Mixed reaction, shall we say?
Yeah.
Mixed reaction. So yeah, some people enjoyed a sausage roll, some people didn't, and I was happy to clean them up afterwards. That's for sure.
Well, the thing is, half the other countries, a sausage is always like a Frankfurter everywhere else. It seems we
Yeah,
do like
exactly.
proper sausages that actually taste.
Get some proper sausage meat in them.
Exactly. A bit of haggis.
I wish if we can find somewhere good with some actual proper haggis, then absolutely I'll try and get the boys onto that as well.
Fair enough.
Few Welsh cakes, bit of haggis, absolutely.
Yeah, content piece ideas for Vitality, freebies.
Absolutely, free content.
Yeah. I wonder just kind of what has it been like for you to qualify for this event in the UK as well? I know, at in stage one, I think when I spoke to you, you guys were 0-2 at that point, and I was kind of surprised at how calm you were, at least on the face of it. And then it went to 0-3, and it was looking real shaky, and you scraped into playoffs, but then it looks like something's clicked really, and you guys just are sort of as good as you'd expect to be now. So just what were the thoughts when it looked like it might not have happened, given that it would be in the UK as well? And then what do you think it was that did maybe click or got you guys on the right track?
Yeah, the thoughts when it looked like we were probably going to be the most fraudulent team to exist in the game in the last 5 years were obviously not pleasant. Like, there's a lot of pressure there. There's a lot of investment, obviously, that's gone into building this project for the year. Ultimately, I bear the responsibility of that failure, mostly given the keys that I was given to build it. So, yeah, of course, it's not pleasant, but you do have to just back yourself in that. You do have to, of course, constantly review, constantly looking at ways to improve and get better and better. Look at what works between coaches, players, etc., between players, in all aspects, in personal, in professional, in strategic, whatever. So it's a lot of self-review, it's a lot of self-reflection, a lot of difficult, sleepless nights. But hey, that's the job. After the night, you just get to sit and watch video games, so it's great. But yeah, it was obviously unpleasant, and I think the thing that worked for us was has kind of been turned into a bit of a meme now, sticking to the plan. Just the boys learning through experience of having all of the freedom or whatever, it just makes a difference when you get on that stage. So just implementing a lot more of our structures and systems that we set out to do in the first place. We were basically just a little bit late to developing those systems or implementing them at least than we should have been. And we did that. And then we started looking like everybody, including ourselves, expected us to do a little bit more. So, yeah, that's it. I mean, obviously, it's really nice for me to return to London. This is also a bit of a significant weekend for Vitality as a club, if you don't mind me mentioning as well. It's been 3 years since Vitality Valorant lost one of its superstars to mental health, unfortunately. And since then, we as a club have set up the CARE project in partnership with the Twiston Foundation. It was set up with Twiston's family. So it's a big weekend for the club. A lot of our message for the boys and for everybody else going into this weekend is, hey, go and enjoy it. Sometimes that enjoyment isn't there, and for everybody else that needs their help, there are things out there for it. But go out there, go and enjoy it, go and make the most of this event, because it is in a fantastic place. Okay, I tried escaping the country, go and get a job in Berlin, and then I come back only two hours down the road. But yeah, I think it's one that we're very relieved to qualify for, and now we just want to show our best at as well.
Yeah, amazing. Well, I'm glad to hear it's going well now, and best of luck, pal, in the rest of the tournament.
Right, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for the support.
Thanks very much.